Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rabbi Cass. I'm a Sofer in Muncie, New York. You can find me online at sofercenter.com. So in today's video, I'm going to answer two questions which I get from time to time. The first one is, how can I tell the difference between my Rashi Tefillin and my Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin? The second question I get asked is, what are the small hairs sticking out of the Tefillin Shel Rosh in the front? What small hairs? Well, if you never had the question, you must probably never noticed it. Or you just know the answer. If you look on the Shel Rosh, you'll see here in the front, this is the Shel Rosh, you see the shin. You'll see here in the front, there's little hairs sticking out from the stitching. What are those small hairs? What do they represent? And what does it have to do with Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin? With my explanation of the difference, how can you tell the difference between Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin, I will also answer what are the small hairs sticking out of the bottom. Okay, so in 1 second, the answer, the difference between Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam is this. How can you tell the difference? Well, take them up and look at them side by side. I feel like the light is interfering a little bit here. Okay, so you see the one over here, which I'm moving my finger by. This is Rashi Tefillin. And if the hair is in the middle, in the center, that's Rabbeinu Tam. Now, there is only, externally, the only way to identify Rashi Tefillin and Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin is from the Shel Rosh bias. The Shel Yad looks exactly identical from the outside. Now, if you want to know why is there a difference between Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam, the explanation and the reason behind it, there's another video which I made, which I'll put a link in the description, to explain why Rabbeinu Tam argues with Rashi, and there's why there's a tefillin called Rabbeinu Tam. But today I'm just going to explain to you the how to tell the difference, and why does this string, the hairs, what does that have to do with the difference between Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam? So if you go back and you watch the other video, what is the difference between Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin, you'll see, and I'm going to explain very briefly here. That what does it have to do? It has to do with the order of the parshios. Okay, now these two parshios are compartments. The parshios that go in these two compartments are the ones in question. According to Rashi, Shema is here and Bahaya Mishmaya is here. According to Rabbeinu Tam, Shema is here and Bahaya Mishmaya is here. Now I'm going to give you a little inside information here. The way the parshios are put into the bottom, they're wrapped like this. Okay, so a parsha is opened. This is an open parsha. It's wrapped up and it's put in what this is called a matlis, and it kind of wraps it and it protects it when it goes into the bottom. And it has these the hairs from the tail of a calf. Okay, these hairs are wrapped around. That's what we tie the parsha closed with. And then this gets, usually I tame it, I cut it a lot shorter, but I want to be able to explain to you, so you should see. And then this will go inside of a bottom just like this, okay? So just like that. And that's it. Each of the four parshios of the tefillin get put into the bottom just like that. Now, all of them are cut shorter, except for one. Which one? V'haya im Shemaya. The parsha V'haya Shemaya, and again, this is not the parsha V'haya Shemaya. Okay, this is just an example. The parsha V'haya Shemaya, we leave the siris, the hairs, a lot longer. Why do we do that? Because the siris that come off the parsha of V'haya Shemaya, those are the ones which actually stick out through the bottom. So here you can see this is a Rashi Tefillin. Okay, do you see these siris over here? Okay, they come off of the parsha, and they're long. They continue like this. And where do they come out? Right here at the top. These small hairs here are directly connected to the parsha of V'haya im Shemaya. So now, in Rashi Tefillin, where V'haya im Shemaya is over here, the siris come out on the side of the bottom from the side. But in Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin, when the V'haya im Shemaya is moved over here, and it's more centered, then the cyrus come out not from the edge, more on the edge, they come out actually from the center. Okay, so now that you understand what these hairs are and where they come from, you'll understand that, well, that's how you identify what's Rashi and what's Rabbeinu Tam, because the hairs are directly connected to Parsha, which is wrapping the Parsha V'hayim Shemaya, and when that changes, so do the hairs change. Now the Shel Yad, we don't have a cyrus sticking out, and that's why you cannot identify a Rabbeinu Tam and Rashi Tefillin just from looking at the Shel Yad. So there's a couple things I want to say here. Now, I don't forget them, but I'm just going to say it now. One of the things which I do when I sell Tefillin Rashi and Rabeinu Tam, I'll try to make sure the Ritzuas are different colors. Let's say I'll do Rashi black on black, black on black Ritzuas. I can show you. This is black on black Ritzuas. Here. Okay, so you see it's black from both sides, and then I'll do Rabbeinu Tam black on white in order to easily identify what goes with what, which yad goes to which Rosh. If somebody wants black on Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam, and somebody wants or they want black and white on both of them. So another thing that I'll do is, I know in my other videos I discussed why we cut the tefillin strap on an angle. That's just in order to slide it through the bias easily and to tie the kesher. But once it's slid through, there's no mitzvah to have it cut on an angle. So I'll do this, like the yad, I'll cut it on flat, and the Rosh, I'll cut it flat. So all you have to do is identify which one is the Shel Rosh by looking at the cyrus, and then you say, oh, this is the flat one, and then you'll look at the Shel Yad Ritzua and see that that's also flat, and that way you have a way to match up the yad with the Rosh. So now, a little bit more background information. So why do we have the cyrus sticking out? So the reason why we have the cyrus sticking out, and the reason why the cyrus from an egel, is it's brought down that is to remind us of Chet HaEgel, right? To keep us humble. When we're davening to Hashem, one of the things what we're doing is we're humbling ourselves before Hashem, and there's nothing more humbling being a Jewish nation waiting for Moshe to bring down the luchos, and on such a high, we as a nation we stoop so low. So it's a preparation for davening to keep this in mind, the Chet HaEgel. How do we do that? We take the hair from the tail of a calf, which is wrapped around all the parshios, and we actually stick it out. So when you see it every morning before you daven, we humble ourselves before Hashem. We humble ourselves before God, and when you humble yourself, humility is a great thing. When you make yourself humble, then you can connect with God. As long as somebody feels themselves as as long as their ego is really bloated, okay, then they can't see anything outside of themselves. They can't see anything outside. You can't connect with God, for sure not, because like it says, God says on a person who was very egotistic, I can't live with such a person. So one of the preparations before davening is making ourselves humble, and that's why many have the custom to go to mikvah and to give charity, which shows that you're caring for the next person, or learning Musar or Chassidus, which also gives you a broader understanding of God and the creation. So humility and being humble before davening, that's very, very important. So that's what the cyrus represent. Now, why V'hayim Shemaya? Why choose that parsha? I mean, all of the parshas are wrapped with the cyrus. So why choose V'hayim Shemaya as the parsha to make the cyrus longer and to have them poke out from the bottom, from the Shel Rosh? I haven't seen this written in Svarim. It's my own, what we call a Beich Svara, something that I thought of a number of years ago. It makes sense to me. If you know otherwise, I'm ready to accept. But this is the reason that I've asked many Sofrim, and nobody's able to give me an answer, and it just seems logical to me. So again, don't hold me accountable if you can't find it anywhere sourced. The parsha V'hayim Shemaya is the parsha which warns us against bowing down to foreign gods. Okay, look, I'll show you here from this parsha, the Shel Yad. It says clearly, be careful, Hisham Alechem, be careful, Panifta Levavchem, lest your heart be turned aside. Besartem, and you'll turn, Va'avadetem Eleikim Acher, and you'll serve foreign gods, V'yishtachav, and you'll bow down to them, V'chara af Hashem, and Hashem will be upset. Okay? So, isn't it appropriate that that parsha, which warns us about bowing down to foreign gods, isn't it appropriate that that parsha should have wrapped around it the hairs from the egel, which reminds us of the sin of the golden calf? So that's my explanation that I thought of on my own at some point, and that's why. So again, Rashi Rabbeinu Tam. Where does the hair come out from? It comes out from the center. It's Rabbeinu Tam. On the side, that's Rashi. Why? Because the parsha inside changes. Now, happens to be a question I get also asked from time to time is, if the saris fall back in, is the Tefillin Kosher a puzzle? Because it is sticking out, and it is possible for them to fall in. So the answer to that is that if they fall in and you don't see them anymore, the tefillin is still considered kosher, but it's preferable. The lashon that the Shulchan Aruch uses, I think it's al pi hasoid, that it's preferable, al pi Kabbalah, that the hairs actually protrude, and they should protrude less than the length of a barley. I think it's like maybe 9-10 millimeters. It shouldn't be too long. It should be a little bit less. Not too long, but not too short either, because sometimes they could slip in. So I tend to leave a little bit more space, a little bit more, and if it falls in, then I have enough. I don't have to worry about it. So I hope that answered the question of how can I tell the difference between Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam, and along with more information and what the hairs represent, and like, share, and subscribe. Okay, the more subscribers, the more videos there will be. It encourages me to make more videos, and I see the need for making these videos. So please, if you haven't yet, subscribe, like, and share the video. This information is not available anywhere else as far as I'm aware. Take care. Goodbye.